Hi everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs, and today's video I want to show you a new file and how to assemble it. So this is the 12 drawer advent box. If you're at all familiar with my 24 drawer advent box, this has been super popular, and it has the 25 little drawers that you can pull out and then fill them with a little treat or something fun and count down 25 days for Christmas mostly, but just about anything. So the difference is this one is just 12 drawers, and the drawers are a little bit smaller, and it does come topped with a bow that I'll show you at the end, a 3D bow. So this is perfect for little hands because it's a little bit smaller, or if you want to put a smaller treat in it, or if you just want to do the 12 days of Christmas and not worry about all the others. So let's just go ahead and get started. You are going to need one brad for this, and I do use the larger brads that you get at your office supply store. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a cold going on. And then you'll have 12 boxes that you'll need to cut out. I have done 11 of them, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. I will show you how to do the rest of them, or do one. So there's our 12 boxes. And then you'll have, this is the outside piece or the decorative piece for your drawer, and you'll cut out 25 of these. Now there's not 25 in the file, there's just one because it would make the file huge. But you'll go ahead and duplicate that, and cut 12 of them out. You'll have 2 of the side border, or the top and the bottom. So this is the top. It has a little hole. That's where the ribbons or the bow is going to go. Then you'll have 2 sides, and I actually just printed these from some digital paper. Then you'll cut out 12 drawers, and again the file only has 1 drawer in the file, but you'll just copy it and cut out 12 of these. You will have 12 of these inside pieces. This is an optional piece, and I will show you when we get to it what that is for, but you'll cut out 12 of those. You have your 3D bow, which has the middle loop, the big loops, and the tails, and this would be really fun printed out of some, or cut out of some printed paper. Okay, and then you'll have 4 of your horizontal shelves, or 3 of your horizontal shelves, 2 of your vertical shelves, a bottom, a top piece. Again, the top piece has the hole in it, a left side and a right side, and your back piece. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is the same construction basically as that 25 drawer was, but because it's smaller, it's a lot simpler to do. So you're going to take your back piece, which is just the square rectangle, and we're going to set it off to the side for now. Then we want to take our side pieces, and I'm going to bend all of the tabs down or away from me. Then you'll take this one. Now these fold in the opposite direction. So if you've cut them out of the same, cardstock, and it's the same on both colors, you'll want to make sure that they are opposite. And then we're just going to fold all of those pieces down. And they are opposite on the file, but once you open it and get everything cut out, you might be a little confused. Okay, then we're going to take our top and our bottom piece, and we're going to do the same thing. We want to fold all of those pieces down. And that is not folding super well, so I will check the file and make sure that I've got all the score marks on there, because I'm thinking I do not. But we will double check and make sure that they're all there. Okay. And then the same with the bottom, and again the bottom is the opposite of the top. before we fold those. And I forgot one tab up here because, again, you know, I have another piece. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and just score that. And I apologize. This is not good to do on a video, but I don't want to stop and cut out all the pieces. So there we go. All right. Now that we've got those, let's go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way. What we want to do is we're going to take our top piece and we're going to glue this tab to the inside of our back. So I'm going to lay it down flat and I'm going to put tape along that long tab. And then just lay that right along the fold line. And press it really good. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the side piece. And we want to make sure that this tab is going to go against this piece that does not have a tab. Does that make sense? So straight edge and a tab piece. We're going to put glue on here. And then lay this back piece again right next to that score line. And the corners should all come together, just right there. We're going to take the bottom piece. Again, same thing. We're going to put glue on this tab, and we want to make sure this tab is right here along that flat edge. It sounds really confusing, but once you get going, it just makes sense, and it'll come together pretty quickly. And this one does use quite a lot less paper than the 25 drawer does, obviously because it's smaller and has less drawers. And then we're going to do the same thing with this very last side piece. Right up against there. And so each corner has a pretty sharp corner, if you can see that. Okay, while it's laying face down, we are going to go ahead and put glue or tape on those 4 tabs right there. Let's see the easiest way to do this. And this one, because it's not so big and bulky as the 25 drawer, you could actually do this out of your 60 weight or 65 weight cardstock. That's what I'm doing this out of because it's not so big and bulky. Okay, now that we've got the tabs on there, I'm going to actually flip it over. You can see what it looks like on the inside. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape on all of these flaps that fold in, just on the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect. These tabs give it strength to the box. It kind of gives it a finished edge on the front and adds strength to the sides. Okay, so now we're going to turn it back over and we're going to fold this and give these corners just a really crisp corner. So if you can see that. And this top one is not going to be very crisp because that's the one that I didn't have the score lines on. So, like I said, I will fix that. It'll be all good when you download your file. Okay. There are our nice corners. Okay, we're going to bend these tabs out of the way for just a minute. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our vertical shelves. That's this one that has the tabs on the outside and the cuts on the middle. And we're going to fold everything down, or excuse me, we're going to fold that middle line down towards the desk. And then we're going to fold the tabs up. If you have a bone folder handy, that would probably help make these folds just really crisp, because that is what's going to make your box look really pretty, is to have all of those fold lines just real crisp. Okay, we're going to turn it upside down, just barely flatten it, and I'm going to put glue on all of those tabs, and then I'm actually going to put some glue along this side of the score line. I'm going to do that first, and then on all of those tabs. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this up, and that tape that I put right there on the bottom is going to hold that closed, and then we're going to fan out those tabs. Does that make sense? Okay, the next thing we want to do is we're going to bring our box, and we're going to just line this tabs right in between where that slip mark is. Don't press yet, because you want to get everything lined up. And once you get it in there and it's pretty straight and lined up, go ahead and press that down. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to fold down the middle, fold it towards the desk, and then fold all of these flaps up. Okay. Flip it over to the back, put tape on the tabs, and then one strip of tape on the inside of that score line. And you want a really good sticky tape or glue. Glue works probably the best, but you have to hold everything and let it dry. So either like this tape gun that I'm using or the tacky tape would work. Fold that in half, get that pressed really good, and then open up those tabs so that they flare open. Okay, and then same thing, we're going to line it up on that line and that line. And before you push it down, you want to make sure that it's just lined up right. And then go ahead and press that down. Okay, so those are your vertical shelves. Now you have the 3 horizontal, and you'll know these because the lines or the cutouts are on the outside, but we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it down the middle, fold it towards the desk down the middle, and then open up all those tabs. Fold them up towards you. And I should have done the other 2 and had them all ready to go, but I wanted you to really see what you're doing here. Okay, now we're going to fold it or flip it over, and again put glue on these tabs, but we also need it on these 3 pieces as well. So I'm just going to do, whoops, that one didn't really stick, on the inside of the score line, and you only have to do it on one side. You don't have to do it on both. And then we're going to get all those tabs. And if your tape runner is super sticky, that's good, but it can also pull those tabs off. So you want to make sure that you're holding your paper down as you're putting tape on those tabs. And I'm speaking from experience. Okay, we're going to fold it over. Make sure those sides are stuck together, and then open this open, or pull it open. And then again, these little slots are going to go right over these holes, and you're going to line up in between the two flaps again. So we're just going to lay it down first without pressing it, and then make sure everything is lined up, and then we're going to press it down. Okay, we've got to do that 2 more times. I'm actually going to pull both of these first, and then we'll add the glue. So I said in the video that we had done for the 25 drawers that we like to put like little elf jobs in ours, and then a candy treat. You could also do some scriptures, you know, tell the nativity story day by day as you go along. That would be a lot of fun. You could also fill this with activities to do in the month of December and have like 12 activities. Go sledding if you're in weather that has snow. Build a snowman, again, if you have weather that's in snow. Go Christmas caroling. Visit grandparents or family. I mean, I think that putting an activity in there would be really good. And then you could still do for the whole month of December and just do 12 activities, and, you know, maybe 3 times a week pull out an activity or something. Or do 3 on the weekend, whatever works, however that fits your schedule. I'm going to line those up, and then just press. And this gets stronger and stronger as you're putting more shelves in. Last one. You're very patient to stick around with me. You can cut these out of any color that you want to. I don't usually do the actual box part, the outside box with your expensive printed paper, but you could. It would be really pretty. I like using the printed paper for the decorations on the outside and then the solid cardstock on the inside. Last one, we're going to just slip that over there on the slots. Okay, now now that all of those are in there, we are going to turn all of these tabs inside with the exception of this top middle one, and it's the one right by where the hole is. So we don't want to put that one in yet, but the rest of these, we've already put tape on them, so we're just going to push them in. This is coming together and looks really nice. Okay, now let's take our embellishment panels, our decorative panels, and we want to make sure that we have the one with the hole to go up here on the top. My hole didn't fall out. Just match that hole. And this is an optional piece. You don't have to do that piece if you don't want to. The long pieces go on the side, but it just gives it some nice finished decorative look. But again, you don't have to do that. That was a score line, so that'll be fixed. There's our bottom piece. And you don't necessarily have to do the bottom if you don't want to. And the side piece. So this is the vertical box. I am working on another one that is pretty much the same, except the bow goes up here. This would be the top, your longer side, and the bow goes up here. Okay, now it doesn't matter which one you want to do next. If you want to do the drawers or the bow, we're going to go ahead and do the bow. So the bow is pretty simple. It's just like most of my 3D bows. We're going to take the loop part, kind of give it a curl, and I'm going to take my brad, and we're going to just stick it through those 2 holes. So it's almost easier to do the brad first. Loop that around. It is kind of a tinier bow, but you should still be able to do it. Okay, now we're going to take our loops, and we're just going to lay that right there. I'm going to do this upside down so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to put the hole over the brad prongs, and then just kind of round that out with your thumb and finger, and loop it over and put it on the brad. Same thing on this side. You don't want to fold it because you don't want that crease in your bow. You just want it to have a loop. And then last but not least, we're going to take the tails and put it on the brad as well. Now before we open that up, we want to stick it on our box, the brad through our box, and then reach in there and open up that brad. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the brad's in there and it's just opened up. Now we can take that tab and fold it down, and it just covers the inside of the box and that brad. Just like that. And if your bow's twisting and stuff and you don't want it to, you can put a little bit of glue dots underneath there. Okay, now to finish this box, you have 12 of these inside pieces, and they go inside here to cover up the tabs. You can put those in there or leave them out. They just fit right in there. You just glue them. I'm not going to put them in right now because this video is getting really long and I want to show you the drawer. So here's our drawer. We're just going to go ahead and fold everything down away from us. And there are quite a few fold lines on here. But it's because this drawer, all of the sides are reinforced. That way you can put some little bit of heavier things in there. Okay, so once it's there, let's go ahead and add our embellishment panel or decorative panel to the front of our drawer before we glue it all together. So it just goes right there. And then we're going to put tape on those 4 tabs. Flip it over, and we're going to put tape on the top of those 2 longer tabs. And we're just going to match up those corners just like that. So it's a nice sharp corner again. If you wanted to add numbers to these drawers or buttons, there is so many things you could do to decorate these up. So once you have the 4 corners, then you're just going to push those longer tabs in. And that's what gives that box a little bit of strength. So then you'll have your box, your outer box, and we're just going to fill these little drawers in there. And I actually cut these out so that all the pieces would go together. And now I'm not putting them in the way I had to cut them out. But and they do start to get tight as you get down to the bottom, but that's okay because that's what's going to keep this box really nice and sturdy. Okay, so there's our last little drawer. These little drawers are a little over an inch. I think they're 1.25 inches. So they are perfect for like a little candy or a Hershey Kiss or just about anything, a little trinket. And there it is, beautiful bow. The 12 by 12, it's quite a bit smaller than there's the 25 drawer, and there is the 12 drawer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative and that you'll give this little box a try. Thank you for joining me today. Please hit subscribe down below and have a great day.